Right now, keep it going, as they say in the comedy clubs. Please welcome a very funny woman who also took the class in person back last year, and we're so happy to have her again in this class. Please welcome Liz Fabian.
Hi. Oops. Okay. Hi. Hi, everybody out there. I'm Liz. I didn't think I was going to be able to see anyone, but I do see tiny, tiny people in squares. This evening, my DH, which for those of you who don't know, stands for Darling Husband, made a rather garlicky dinner. But I did realize that on Zoom, no one can smell your breath. So it'll work out really, really well. As you may have guessed, I'm a baby boomer. A little refresher for you. We're the post-World War II generation born between 1946 and 1964. I'm somewhere in there. The war ended. We won. The men marched home. They married their sweethearts. And the fuckfest ensued, producing one baby every 7 seconds for the next 18 years. And even if you're not a boomer, you likely love the 60s and 70s music. But sometimes we don't know that for many decades we've been hearing the words incorrectly. So recently while driving, Aretha's version of Natural Woman came on with the beautiful lyric, "When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it." And as I sang along loudly, I realized that all these years I had misheard that line as "when my shawl was in the lost and found." And this was how I pictured it. A first date at a nice restaurant indoors, remember that? Aretha and her guy finish dinner, leave the restaurant, and are wondering what to do next when Aretha says, "Oh, my scarf." You'll have to excuse my Aretha impersonation. I am a white girl. "Oh, my scarf." The guy chivalrously goes back into the restaurant and returns soon after with her shawl. And Aretha says, "Why, thank you. Did I drop it under the table?" And he replies, "No, it was in the lost and found." So something else about me, I'm married to an Eagle Scout. And notice I use present tense because once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. I asked my husband, Doug, to tell me about some of the badges and awards he got as a scout, mostly so I could make fun of them at the show. For his knot tying award badge, he came up with a knot called the sheep shank. Sheep shank. And I thought, well, maybe there'll be some comedic potential in that, but I'm not really sure. So I next asked him, were there any lanyards involved? Because lanyards are funny. But he said, no lanyards, damn it. And here's a really interesting thing. My son-in-law is also an Eagle Scout. That means when he and my daughter have kids, 23andMe says they have a 50% chance of the child being a genetic avid tyer of knots. Maybe upon its birth, the baby will tie its own umbilical cord into a knot. That would be impressive. And then there's the highest service award given for scouting volunteers. Doug's parents both received the coveted Silver Beaver Award. Yeah, you heard me, Silver Beaver. Now, here's where I was going to put a clip of the Silver Beaver up, but I'll just do the imitation. It looks like this. One day, many years ago, my husband says to me, guess what? Mom is getting the silver beaver. And I reply cautiously, doesn't she already have one? I mean, the woman was in her 50s by then. And Doug said, no, but Dad already got the silver beaver. And I said, yeah, I bet he did. Now, do the Boy Scouts of America really not know the alternate meaning of beaver? I turned to Google. Etymology Online offers that beaver, in the gynecological sense, is British slang dating from 1927. So they did know, and they went ahead anyway. I'm wondering how everybody's doing today. You know, it's been a little rough, and it's been frightening, disorienting, tragic, and boring. So fucking boring. A close friend of mine told me that she's keeping a pandemic diary as a historical artifact. Now, I'm not sure what she has in hers. Maybe what she made for dinner last night, waiting for the mail to come, finding dust in unusual places. But here are some entries from my diary. Day 1, 8:37 a.m. Just Lysoled all the TV remotes and phones and shampooed my kiwis and bananas. It's unbelievable how busy I am today. Time for a nap. Day 2, 11:21 a.m. My Swiffer sweeper replacement sheets, not easy to say. My Swiffer sweeper replacement sheets just arrived from Amazon. Yay! Nap first, Swiffer later. Day 3, 10:10 a.m. My neighbor is once again talking about her sourdough starter, her weed whacker, her clematis, and her salvia. I'm actually finding it somewhat soothing. I'm getting sleepy. Day 4, cleaned out one kitchen junk drawer. Why so many extra wine stoppers and oven thermometers and a corn on the cob butterer and 3 tea steeping balls and a melon baller that I never knew I had and a meatball maker. Lots of balls. It's now 2:44 p.m. Day 5, I went upstairs and took the winter quilt off my bed, stuffed it into a hefty bag, and decided that for a real big adventure, I was going to walk into town and take the quilt to the laundromat. So I sunscreened my forehead, put on my mask, walked to the laundromat. I socially distanced, and I say through the mask, please launder this. And they asked, when would you like it? And I say, no rush. That was a big interaction on a typical day. Now I walk back home, but I'm not carrying the comforter, and it's a beautiful day. I feel light and free and full of love for the world. If I were Snow White, little birds would be landing on my arms. And if I were Mary Tyler Moore, I'd take off my mask and I'd throw it up into the air. Well, that's it for me. You've been a great audience, I think. And remember, on Zoom, you can't get dragged off stage. Bye.
Great, Liz Fabian. Liz Fabian, everyone, great job, Liz. And thank you. It was so funny, and also things I never knew about the Boy Scouts, really. And so that's a plus also. And I guess they're branching out now. They're widening their appeal in some way. Yeah, it was wonderful. It's such a great job, and I love the diary too. And just to throw in, when we do shows, we throw in little things in between. I'll just tell you that, none of you knew me before tonight except the class, but this is not my usual hair. This is basically my college graduation picture I'm trying to recreate. But I'm going to keep growing my hair until Justin Trudeau gets a haircut. So that's my role model. But I don't know if how many of you, raise your hand, have actually had a friend say, and I don't know if in Westchester now, I guess you are allowed to get haircuts, but in the city, we're still not. There are counterfeit haircuts going around. But I have a friend, there's always the friend who says, let me do it, come on. I did my husband's, my son's, it's great, let me do it. And, you know, I fear I don't want to disappoint my hair cutter because I know I'll go back to Ali next month and I'll go, what happened to you? What did you do? And then I'll be in the chair longer. It'll take an hour and I'll be neurotic. So I'm not going to have the friend do it. And I should have brought it with me, my 1976 graduation picture. I dated myself, but what does it matter? Who knows what dates and years are anyway? So I figured I could do it. So once again, Liz Fabian, you inspired me. Thank you so much. Great job, Liz.